Why?
Now, that's how you start a show. Like seriously, if we ever have a debate on which shows have the most crippling first episodes, I am putting Invincible in my draft. And you know what? They keep up this level of greatness throughout the entire show. And in this video, I will break down why I believe this show is so good. Tension. Throughout the show, there are deep questions around what will happen when and why did this just happen. You're constantly thinking, why did Omni-Man do what he did? Will Cecil find out? And what is his plan to stop him? What's going to happen when Darkblood figures out Omni-Man's story? How will Omni-Man's wife react if she finds out the truth behind her husband's action? What will Mark do when the image of his greatest hero comes crumbling down in front of him? All these questions keep you hooked and string you along to the end. Every episode, one of these questions is answered, but it opens up a new story thread that keeps you enticed. The antagonist force. The antagonistic force of the show is so intriguing because it creates a layer of complexity. It's one thing to fight against the bad guy who wants to take over the world. It's a different story when that guy is your dad. The rest of the villains act as a training role for Mark on his hero's journey. Each encounter leaves him with a lesson that will help him grow in the end. Some encounters teach him the limits of his strength, the realities of being a hero and how much you lose and sacrifice, the pitfalls of being naive and too trusting. In fact, the ending scene where Titan is one of the best story twists in the show. There is a genuine attempt to circumvent our expectations, which makes the story that much better. It's a great writing tool that even the writers of South Park use for their show.
Right? So what I'm saying is that you come up with an idea and it's like, okay, this happens, right? And then this happens. No. It should be this happens and therefore this happens. But this happens, therefore this happens.
One more thing. How cool is it that they explore a wide spectrum of issues the heroes have to overcome? Not just the big bad guy trying to take over the world. There's criminal stealing, the effect of crime in the hood, wildfires, helping people grow crops, and world-ending asteroid. This is amazing. Themes. Some of the themes tackled in this show and how they execute them had a grip on me. This show deals with a lot of loss. The world loses its greatest heroes and therefore their sense of safety. People lose their loved ones, whether it's collateral in fights or them fucking up on their own. I'm talking fathers, mothers, friends, husbands, lovers. This show has no problem with hurting characters that occupy this world. And speaking of loved ones, I adore how they executed the love interest storyline here. In the beginning, I expected Mark to end up with Eve. That would have been the easy thing. Everything in her life made that the obvious path to take. But they take a sharp left. Back to my point about subverting expectations. Mark develops a relationship with a civilian, and this becomes an exploration of the toll that being a hero actually takes on your personal life. He's always late for the important moments in her life, and the fact that he didn't tell her the truth from the beginning breeds mistrust, and she's not starstruck with the big reveal of who he is. And eventually, he loses her. Eve goes on to deal with a cheating partner, and this starts her soul search journey, where she actually figures out if she wants to be a hero and what issues she will resolve. I would argue these two get the most character development in the show. This show also offers a lot of action and a lot of fights. Look, from a choreography standpoint, it's not the world's most amazing thing, but what makes it work is how bloody everything gets. People actually bleed, and RIP. The context feel like they have impact. Heads are popped, bodies are cut in half, and people end up in the hospital. It creates this unbelievable bloodbath. The title card getting bloodier with each episode is also so cool. So cool. What the fuck moment. This show has great what the F moments that dropped my jaw. There was Omni-Man and his assault on the Guardians of the Globe, Rex having a foursome with Duplicate, Nolan saying he loves his wife, but only as a pet. There's more, but just those three alone were peak fiction. What brings this show home for me is the ending. It's realistic. The hero doesn't get a miraculous power of friendship power up, but actually loses to a power mightier than him. Some may be disappointed in this because it doesn't feel like a conclusion, but for me, it helps set up the future. We set up antagonists that will serve as opponents for Mark in the future. We set up a looming threat that will increase the tension in the show. No, not these guys. Them. We have new Guardians of the Globe that seems to have finally figured out how to make the gears turn. And there's questions around what happens to Mark's mom, his ex, and potential lover. And Mark no longer has doubts about whether he will be a hero or not. He's finally answered the call to action. 8 out of 10.